Hello everyone, welcome to Monday Morning Motivation. Psalm 124 is what is known as a Psalm of Ascent, sung as the Israelites made their pilgrimage up to Jerusalem to worship at the temple. It opens with David the king declaring a great truth that resonates with all of us who have made our own journey through life depending on God. Looking back, he observes critical moments in Israel's history and opens his song of praise with these words: "If the Lord had not been on our side, let Israel say, if the Lord had not been on our side." Then he looks at two specific incidents, rejoicing at the singular outcome despite the overwhelming odds stacked up against Israel. Truly, this is our story as well, in one way or the other. We may not have faced literal floods, as David spoke of Israel, but we may have faced what felt like floods at some point in our life. I'm sure that many of you can testify, like David did, that there were those who tried to swallow you up alive when their anger flared against you, but God kept you. He held you close. And that's why, like David, like Jeremiah, like countless others throughout history, right down to today, we can look back and testify with the songwriter that we are here today because God kept us. We are alive today only because of His grace. Lamentations chapter 3 verse 21 to 23 says, "Yet I call this to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the loving devotion of the Lord, we are not consumed, for His mercies never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." The prophet Jeremiah wrote this at a time when Israel was at the height of disobedience to God. Yet note what he states with great hope: God's mercies never fail. Every morning they are new, fresh, and His faithfulness is great. Just like the prophet, these truths give us great hope. When we look back and we remember, when we look back and see where God brought us from, there's reason to rejoice. Everything in your life may not be the best right now, just like the times in which Jeremiah penned these words. Some of the poor decisions you made may have caused the adverse circumstances you face today. But be encouraged. Look back and see what God has done for you before, how He brought you through every difficulty, how He provided for your needs when you had no idea where help was coming from. Look back and consider when you may have been faithless to Him. He remained faithful, constant through every twist and turn. Great is His faithfulness. Great, as in abundant, as in exceedingly so, as in cannot be measured. Just as the stars are innumerable, just as the depths of the ocean are beyond reach, just as the sands of the seashore cannot be counted, God's faithfulness to His people knows no limits, knows no measure. In a world that is filled with constant change and where people are for you today and then the next they cancel you, God's faithfulness is both a beacon and an anchor to keep us. His faithfulness is a place of security that we can rest upon. You may be ill right now. Pain may be racking your body, but there is great hope. God is faithful. He woke you up this morning and there's breath in your body. Great is His faithfulness. Your finances may be an absolute wreck right now, but you still have seen another day, and you've seen another day is another opportunity for God to come through for you. Great is His faithfulness. People may have talked about you, lied upon you, assassinated your character, so to speak. The boss may not like you, co-workers may shun you, family members may have wronged you, but God stands by you today. Great is His faithfulness. When you have God on your side, there's no mountain that can stand in your way. There's no valley that he will not walk through with you. There's no darkness that his light cannot penetrate and disperse. It is all because of his mercies, compassion, and love that you are still here today. You see, God's faithfulness isn't predicated upon your worthiness or whether you qualify or not. Systems and structures around us reward and give recognition based on performance. Promotion can be qualified, but not so with God. Throughout Israel's history, they were constantly in a seesaw relationship with him, oscillating between obedience and disobedience and the consequences of each. Yet throughout it all, one thing remained constant, unfailing and true. God's faithfulness remained at the center of Israel's existence. Never once did he fail them, even though they failed him repeatedly and blatantly. His faithfulness can never change because it isn't just what he does, but is a part of who he is. If God can change, then his faithfulness would. But you know what? God is who he is. God is the God who does not, but cannot change. He is who he is, the unchangeable one. So look back and remember. Remember what he did for you in the past. Look at his track record recounted throughout scriptures and in the lives of others you know. Recall the truth of his faithfulness even if you have not walked with him for many years. Acknowledge his loving devotion and commitment to you, his compassion, his new mercies in this very day, and his abundant, never-ending, always flowing faithfulness. Go watch the sunrise or the next sunset and be reminded that as there is surely a sunrise and a sunset every day, God's faithfulness is sure like that. And let this be the reason you give him praise. All your life he has been faithful. All your life he's been so good. And you know what? He does not plan to stop. His faithfulness will be great every day and his mercies new every morning. God bless you. This has been Monday Morning Motivation. Please join me again next week, Monday at 6 o'clock in the morning for another devotional. Have a wonderful week.